Hey guys, how's it going? So I just teamed up with my buddy Chris to do a video on how to capture some underwater photos with the salmon, which I'm going to keep working on throughout the summer. Something else, I just wanted to keep putting out stuff. I'm a big fan of trying out new softwares lately. I got rid of my Adobe products. I was tired of paying a subscription, and I was tired of it crashing on my computer, and I was just sick of the whole thing. I'm trying to whittle down my monthly expenses on what I spend on photography software and things so that I can be more free, especially in between when I take my contracts. So I want to run through some photo replacement software here, and I want to show you how I will process these two photos. This was from one of the shots that I got with Chris, and then this one is a shot that I'm actually quite happy with that I got on my own. I was just messing around on the river with my pole cam. So let's start with this one. So my first replacement is Dxo Photolab 8, and I'm a big fan of one of the first pieces of software that I replaced. This is close to replacing Lightroom, Adobe Lightroom, is this Dxo Photolab 8, and I'm actually really impressed with their software. Especially their denoising ability is unreal. So it's better than Topaz as far as I could tell for a lot of things. There are some features here that it's missing, like it won't do it in software Panorama or HDR, but it's a really great software for color adjustments, cropping, all that stuff. So I already have my two photos here, and let me just reset the settings. I'm going to show you how I'm going to process these. I put them on my desktop. So this photo here, what I'll do is just kind of raise the exposure a little bit so we can see what we got. There are a lot of particulates here. We call it backscatter. And I'm going to work on fixing this when I go out and do my salmon photography. Some streams are clearer than others. This stream just happened to be a little bit murky. So let's just I'm going to do kind of quick edits. So like these aren't, like I don't know if I would publish this on a wall just yet, right? So I just kind of cropped it a little bit, raised the exposure. Dxo has this Clear View Plus, which sometimes I like. It's kind of like the clarity slider in Photoshop or Lightroom, and I kind of like just a little bit there to make it a little more punchy. And then it looks like he just got out of the light a little bit. We're just gonna, again, these are just quick edits. So I made a brush, right? So it works very similar to Adobe. A lot of this stuff is, it functions the same, right? So I just want to emphasize the nose a little bit more. And you see there is a little bit of noise here, right? Not this, it's like all this little color. So what I'll do is go over to their details panel, and we'll just do like the big one, deep prime, and look at it, it's like gone, right? And this produces really great results. I'll do another video editing my puffin photos, which even on the R5, I shot a lot of those at 25,000 ISO, and they came out beautiful. All right, but it's also a little bit of how you expose your photo too, right? You don't want to underexpose a noisy photo and then try to raise the details. It just, with most sensors, it won't come out right. All right, so I kind of like that. Again, these are just quick edits. We'll just kind of pick our white balance. All right, that looks a little pink to me. I like my photos a little warmer. Okay, now another thing that I'll show you here in this kind of colors panel, if you slide down, it has a really nice like HSL panel here. I want to emphasize the color of the water behind the fish. So it looks a little green, or maybe cyan-ish. So there you go, that looks pretty good. It's just a little emphasis, right? And then sometimes I'll do this, especially when I get the chum salmon, they have that nice patterning. You can kind of tease out some of those colors. You could also do it via a masking action or a brush, so that works out really well. And I just want to emphasize kind of the water and what it's doing up there. So now we'll talk about the backscatter in a little bit. I'm not freaking out about it right now. So not bad. For a quick edit, I'm happy with this. Now some of the things I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to export it as a TIFF just to the desktop, just so we can grab it pretty easily. But some of the things I'm going to do in this video, it may violate the rules of a photo contest because I'm going to use AI a little bit. I might even remove some of the backscatter manually. I'm going to show you how to do it automatically. But just pay attention if you're submitting to a photo contest, how, you know, what the rules are, right? Okay, oh, it's still exporting. My computer is not the newest, it's not the worst, but I still like it, right? Okay, there we go. So we have our file. Now my other Photoshop replacement, this is the closest one that I enjoyed that will replace Photoshop itself, is Affinity Photo 2. And I'm super happy with this software. So now, the reason why I use Affinity Photo for this, for underwater photography, there's this new software called Backscatter Exterminator, and it's kind of like photography itself. Like, I'm not saying you need all these different pieces of software, but when I played with it, I had to buy it right away. So I'm a huge fan. So I just go to Filters, Plugins, Backscatter Exterminator, and then let's watch this. I mean, this is a messy photo. You know, I would go back and retake this photo. I had too much particulate matter in the water. And that's a little bit of strobe positioning, a little bit of how I did my lighting, but give it a second. I'm super impressed with these results. Bam. That's unreal. Yeah, it looks a little, you know, fuzzy maybe. It's not perfect. Like I said, this may not look the best like if you print it, but you just saved that photo, you know? So I'm like hugely impressed with this. So here, let me zoom in a little bit. So that's my denoising function. And that's basically for this photo, that might be all I do in the software, but let me just show you some other stuff. So let me go under their develop panel, because this is as close to the sliders as you get like in Photoshop, and they have a clarity slider, you know, just like in Photoshop. I won't push that much because there's a lot of artifacts in the background. We could boost the contrast a little bit. I kind of like that. But see how this part of the frame is a little darker? I want to fix that in a second. Ah, all right. Where'd it go? All right, Nick, you'll cut it back here. All right, so to kind of even out the darkness here. Okay, so to even out the darkness here, this may not be the most refined way to do it, but we're going to go to Layer, New Fill Layer. All right, we're going to bring that behind. And then it works just like Photoshop, like you can select masks and remove them. And I'm going to go down here, double click, and then just make it black, right? All right, and it has a masking option just like Photoshop. And we'll do, you know, just a gentle kind of mimic. Whoops, we'll get to that one next. Just to mimic the other side a little bit, right? So that's just a quick edit, right? So that's not bad, all right? Again, this is not, I like this photo a lot, but I don't know if I would like submit it to anything, you know, yet. The Backscatter Exterminator works really well. It's not perfect, right? But I mean, think about where we started with this and then where it is now, top notch, right? There, that's the photo, you know, for now. What you could do is like darken the background a little bit. I could even sharpen the fish a little bit more, but pretty happy with my replacement so far. Okay, So let's keep those down here. All right, the other photo I want to edit with you guys, showing you non-Adobe products, right, is this one. I really like this one. This is something I might submit down the road. This one doesn't need as much work as the other one, so I'm a big fan of, even though we have all this technology, we have all this stuff available to us, try to get it done right in the camera. You know, try to get your settings, take your time in the field, because I know I get very impatient. You know, try to nail it in camera so that when you do this stuff, there's way less work you have to do. So I actually really like this. The fish are a little blurred, but that's okay. It was getting dark, and you know, the water's a little murky in this spot, even though it looks really clear from the surface. And there were just a ton of salmon, and I'm really excited to go this weekend and try this again, because there should be even more salmon. We just got more rain. And you know, this photo, I had my camera on a pole, so I was kind of guessing on where to put my camera. So there's some fish off to the side. That's pretty cool. There's this beautiful chum salmon right up here, and then there's this male pink salmon right in the middle. So I kind of want to emphasize that. And I know they say don't center your subjects, but you know, I want to hold photo contest off a centered subject, so I'm not really too worried about it. But this is the shot right here. I was shooting at, I think it was like 1/40th. Yeah, 1/40th of a second at like f20, you know. So it was a little slow. I wanted to get all the fish in detail here. This is with a fisheye lens. So for this shot, I kind of, a tip that I got from a photographer, a Nat Geo photographer, is to kind of look at your image and figure out where the hot spots are, right? So I really like this image, but see how this pink salmon up here has this kind of a hot spot? There's a little bit of one over here, but I might actually ignore that. That'll probably be fine. What I actually want to do is just do a mask adjustment, just like a little brush, and just the tiniest bit, you know, kind of de-emphasize the white there. All right, and I think that's perfect. You just don't want your eyes attracted to other parts of the photo unless they're important, you know, like if you have a sun or something, right? And then I'm going to do another brush, and then just a very, very gentle emphasis right there, right? So that's for the light and stuff. That might be all I do, right? Let's just see. I like to see what the View Plus does. Sometimes it's a little too much. I like a little bit of it there. There were also particulates in this water. So that, with the kind of slower shutter speed, that's kind of why it looks a little soft. And this is with a single strobe, so my camera is here and the strobe is above, which for this type of scenario worked out really well. I want to emphasize the color of the water a little bit, which you can do using gels on your strobe. But I may not do that this summer just because I'm afraid the filter's going to float away, right? This water can be moving pretty good. So we're just gonna, I just like to kind of see what it does. So what I might do is a brush just kind of in the water, because I noticed that it gives the fish that I want as the emphasis a little bit of a weird blue color. There are other ways to do this and other pieces of software, but again, these are just quick edits for you guys. So I just kind of emphasize the water a little bit. Now we're going to go back. Let's try this blue color here. All right, just a little emphasis there. And it's kind of teal-ish. Yeah. I actually think that looks great without, because we're in the brush slider there. It didn't really mess with the colors too much. I like it, right? So I kind of like to do a really deep zoom. I know in one of my videos I said don't go over 400, right, for ISO. This was at 800 because again it was getting dark on the river. So there's a little bit of noise here, but again, you're pixel peeping. So again, Dxo has a really great denoise feature. So I like to try to pick the the one you need the least of. Let's try the prime. Looks pretty good. I think that's fine, right? Bam. I really like that a lot. You know, so there are some other people that might recommend other things. There's a little bit distraction with these particles here, but again, if I'm going to submit this to a photo contest, you know, every contest has different rules. I'm not going to remove it, right? There's just particles in water. It's just a thing that's going to happen, and you just kind of have to get used to it. It does look a little gray to me, so let's play with. Let's go over here. Let's see if we can kind of. It's a little too dark in the bottom there, but you know what? I kind of like that, right? You still got that fish zooming through the photo. You can still see it, but the emphasis is on these two fish. I dig it. It's a little unbalanced. I might do that right there, just so it's not so like bright dark, right? But especially with the way light works, you kind of want the frame a little darker in the bottom as you go up. I might try to de-emphasize the corner. Just real gentle. Yeah, just super gentle, just so that when you're looking at the emphasis of the photo, it's right there, right where you want it, right? So I just want to make sure. Is there anything else I want to do? Let's go back to this. No. Okay, I like that. All right. So I really dig that. I'm going to do this as a TIFF. Because another piece of software, if you were curious about it, Topaz has, you've probably seen them advertised. They actually do make pretty good software. I do like it. But their denoise software was getting really buggy with me, and it was just becoming like this old software. They keep making new software. So they came out with a new one called Photolab AI. And I just want to show you that one real quick. It should be in my, oh, here it is, Topaz. I actually do like Topaz Sharpen still. It's a really great software. I actually use that a lot to denoise my images too. It just depends. So here, we're just going to use this for sharpening the subject. So it's going to find the subject and just sharpen it a little bit. We don't want it to be too much. And I just like to go to other parts of the, yeah, see, it figured out what the subjects were. That's perfect, right? And I think that's everything I'll do, because again, I like DxO's denoise for this. That works great. We'll save it to the desktop. I like that. All right, it's going to keep it the original file format for this. And I could convert it to a JPEG later on. All right, that's perfect. Bam. And then I like that a lot. This would be one that I would feel comfortable printing or submitting. A big tip that I got from another photographer's video, Alex Mustard, if you want to check him out, really brilliant underwater photographer. You know, try to keep track, or you keep notes in your photos, like on each one of the adjustments that you did, because a lot of contests will not let you remove things, right? Sometimes they'll let you remove a little bit of backscatter, but they won't let you remove like this stick here, for example, there's like another little particulate there. But you know, I feel comfortable with the adjustments that I did, that this would work. Now with all the AI stuff, there might be new rules coming out, but like if I was submitting this for a publication, I would feel more than comfortable with the edits that I did to bring this photo to life a little bit and give it a little more pop. This is going to be one of my favorite photos from the summer. I'm going to take a lot more, hopefully coming up soon. We're just waiting for the rivers to kind of calm down again. But that is that. And I might do another one on actually my desktop image here, how I took shots at 25,000 ISO when I was in Iceland, even on the Canon R5, and then rescued them. So thanks for swinging by. I want to do some more stuff in the field and show you some more of the wildlife work that I do. So thank you, and don't forget to hit subscribe, and I appreciate your time.